Well, good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. I hope everybody's having a great Memorial weekend. I hope all your barbecue dreams come true. I have been busting a hump, so to speak, working on the red brick house. In fact, even though I'm back here, doesn't mean the work doesn't end. I've got 2 vanities I need to build. I got my butcher block countertop. In fact, hell, I got to build the whole kitchen cabinets and stuff that need to go in there. But I'm happy and excited as can be. I feel blessed to be able to have something that's just great and transformative. And I'm so happy, because I haven't been doing my morning report since I think last Tuesday morning was the last time I was sitting here. It seems like it's been way too long, and I've missed all this, and I can't wait until after we get the red brick house done that I get a studio set up there, so when I am down there, working and trying to pay the bills, that I can do exactly what I do here, because this is home. This is the spot that I love to be, and I love covering the Dallas Cowboys. So once I get the red brick house done, things will slow down, but I want that in place well before the football season starts, because I'm trying to work and see if I can get my ass to training camp, because we want to get this season going. And this offseason has been incredible. OTAs have wrapped up next, the June 6th, I believe it is June 6th. We have mini camp. The Cowboys are on the field. We're getting a little taste of football, and thus far, health is the biggest key that we have right now. Now, going into the season, this is an interesting take, because typically what happens to the Dallas Cowboys is they're always on the hot seat. I don't know how many other places that a coach could have 12-5 seasons, and people would still say, he sucks. He's the 21st rated quarterback, coach, power ranking wise, that, dealing with Jerry Jones and crew, that his job is in jeopardy, that literally he stinks. So it's like you're 12-5. You don't think the Lions would have loved to have been 12-5 the last 2 years? Are you saying that? Are you saying that the Jets would be firing their coach if they were 12-5 2 years in a row? I don't think so. But that is the life of the Dallas Cowboys. And typically, my quarterback, my teammate, my buddy, Dak Prescott, is always the one that is under the most pressure, under the biggest spotlight, that literally they'll say, that guy's ass. He's under the most pressure of any quarterback. I'm curious, because I'm just getting caught back up, because, I've been, I get up, get my morning coffee, and digging ditches and putting in water lines and everything else at the red brick house and trying to get that thing done, that I've missed the talking shows. And so we have Dan Orlowski, typical Dak Prescott hater, who is talking about quarterbacks under the most pressure this year. Of course, you figure they're just going to say Dak Prescott is the most pressure, of course, because, he's the quarterback for the Cowboys. But I actually want to go through this list, because I'm actually surprised by what happened on it.
You could probably tell just by knowing what you know about Dan Orlovsky is that when he was young, he was very good at homework. And so we decided to give him some homework. We asked him to put together a fundamental list of the 5 quarterbacks in the NFC who are under the most pressure this coming
season. In the NFC.
No, my freshman year, I got a .67 GPA. So, all right, so we're going to start number 5, Kyler Murray out in Arizona. So the Arizona Cardinals are going to have likely 2 top 5 picks in next year's NFL draft. And this is more so, Kyler, prove that you're adult enough off the field, that you're engaged. We'll see if he's healthy enough to get on the field. But Kyler, to that new regime, has got to prove, I'm worthy of you not using one of those picks on an early quarterback next year. He's got a big offseason when it comes to leadership. Number 4, Dak Prescott. Now, a little part of this is, do the Cowboys give him a contract extension? His number next year is absolutely astronomical. This team doesn't have a ton of flaws. This conference isn't absolutely loaded. He's got a new offensive coordinator. They've got a bunch of pieces around him. Can he go elevate? That is the big question in relation to Dak Prescott right now. Can you go be somebody that we haven't seen before? Number 3, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones just got $84 million for 15 touchdowns. That's not me being a jerk. That is just facts.
Yeah.
They upgraded their offense.
True.
Jalen Hyatt.
True. I'm glad they actually said something about Daniel Jones.
Here's the reality. 15 touchdowns, and it won't be good enough next year.
15.
The lack of turnovers, that's not going to be good enough because of the contract. Now, you are expected to prove, all right, it wasn't a fluke. Now go be a different guy. Number 2, Justin Fields. No one is a bigger fan of Justin Fields than me right now. I think he's going to play MVP caliber football. And if you look at this offensive roster, there's not a lot of flaws. Good backs, solid receiving core, the addition of DJ Moore. This is a much improved offensive line. He's playing in a scheme under Luke Getsy that always elevates quarterbacks a little bit more than their talent level. Now he's an incredibly talented player that is in that system. He should play great football, but he's got to go prove it. And number 1, unquestionably, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
You were a first-round draft pick and you haven't played. You were a first-round draft pick and you got a contract extension without ever playing. They ran a Hall of Fame quarterback out of town for you. You got to go prove that you are the right guy. You got 2 really good young receivers, a rookie draft pick in Jaden Reed, 2 young rookie tight ends, a very healthy roster, and again, a conference and division that is not loaded. The expectation shouldn't be that Jordan Love's okay. The expectation should be that Jordan Love doesn't skip a beat to what the Packers have been. This is a team that still has been to the NFC title game 2 of the last 3 years. He should play tremendous football.
I'm going to say something I don't think I've ever said. That is, I don't disagree with anything on the list. I think the list is excellent. Let me ask Graziano. What would constitute living up to the pressure if you're Jordan Love? What does he have to do to justify, as Danny is saying?
I think he's got to make the playoffs. I mean,
agree.
they didn't make the playoffs last year. They came very close after a lousy start. But if he's not a playoff caliber quarterback, that's a massive drop-off from the last 2 quarterbacks they've had, who are both Hall of Famers. So that is a lot of pressure. Now, I mean, look, it's not necessarily his fault. He didn't draft himself in the first round.
Yeah, can we stop saying that, though?
But my point is the situation he's in puts him under a lot of pressure. As the Green Bay Packers quarterback, the standard is incredibly high. So whether it's fair or not, which we could debate, I think he's number 1 on that list. I don't know about Fields.
Playing quarterback in the NFL is not fair. All right,
Yeah,
I know
I
this.
get it.
I know this. Aaron Rodgers, the guy that's no longer there for Jordan Love, is going to play remarkable football. And we will make that contrast comparison because both teams are talented. So Jordan Love's got to have a season. I agree, the Packers.
Okay, so hypothetically, I'm kind of like Jordan Love. Didn't they miss the playoffs last year? Didn't they miss the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers playing last year? Now, I will say Aaron Rodgers at least is showing up for camp because I think part of the problem that the Packers had was actually new receivers and Aaron Rodgers' lack of doing workout with them in the offseason. That maybe had he shown up, he might have had a better repertoire with the guys because he was new with them. Maybe he's learned from his mistake, and that's why the Jets, he's there, although he's tweaked his calf. So he can't actually work out. But I'm not sure that you look at that and say the Green Bay Packers, who lost to the Lions for a meaningless game to them, the last game of the season that would have put them in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers, that team is loaded and the only problem was quarterback, because now you're actually talking out of both sides of your neck. If you're saying that you're replacing Aaron Rodgers, who didn't make the playoffs, but he'll play great elsewhere, and now you actually have to make the playoffs with the same team that Aaron Rodgers had, then that's saying that you have to play better than Aaron Rodgers. You can't have that both ways. I'm surprised that they don't typically have, Dak Prescott, because the problem for Dak Prescott is you are seen all the time. All the time. Everything is microanalyzed. So you're always under the gun with the Cowboys. Because, see, we don't always see all the Buffalo games. We don't see very often plays like Josh Allen throwing an interception in the end zone to lose a game. We don't often see those things like you will with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, the plays that he has that are bad are always going to be overanalyzed. The bad plays that other guys have, you never see. But the funny thing is for a guy who's always been on the hot seat, we're talking about a contract extension, which the Cowboys will get done, and a guy who is constantly still breaking records. And I remember when people literally said, Dak Prescott will be flipping burgers in 2 years. I remember hearing that the rookie year. He might be flipping burgers at his great home. Oh, no, he's actually in the Bahamas playing roulette. But he ain't flipping burgers at McDonald's or no Burger King or anything like that. So it's funny that people will constantly throw shade on him and say he's this, that, and the other, but just keeps brushing it off and keeps on striving. Now, this year, I will agree, this offense is better, definitely better weapon-wise than it was last year. It is a new philosophy. It will be that teams now have to wonder, what are the Cowboys doing, as opposed to hearing, Tampa Bay players saying all we had to do was look at the film from last year and they didn't do anything different. They'll be doing different things. They'll be taking the good things from the playbook that worked last year and hopefully supplementing it now with a lot of speed and better talent around them. Hopefully our offensive line, that Tyler Biadasz now will hit his stride and be more Travis Frederick-like at center. Zach Martin will still be his all-world self. Tyron Smith will stay healthy. That Terrence Steele is truly healed from his ACL. And that Tyler Smith plays guard and becomes a road grader. If those things come into effect, and if our 3 young tight ends, and this is the most talented group of tight ends, and I say group, that we've maybe ever had, between Peyton Hendershot, between, I'm having brain farts. But Jake Ferguson and the new guy, that potentially we will have lights out tight end play. And now having a speedster and Brandon Cooks and a healthy Michael Gallup with the CeeDee Lamb, who is becoming that dude, Dak does have to perform. I mean, you don't have any excuses. You don't have any excuses. Dak has to perform this year. That's the bottom line. All right, good people. I'm going to go up here, hit the workshop, because I'm building my countertop, my butcher block, my huge butcher block for the red brick house. As always, I appreciate you, but it's time for me to roll up out of here. Don't forget, 5 o'clock today, our Zoom in call-in show. If you are a channel member, the link will be in the description. Come on through. If you're not, put down the plate and come on through, and let's have a conversation about the Cowboys.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show for the sports report.
How about them Cowboys? I'll see you guys soon.